We welcome you live to episode 51 of SportsShack. I'm Brandon Talley, along with
Dennis. This is the Ichiro episode or the Randy Johnson episode.
that is true. This is the Ichiro or the Randy Johnson. Last week we had the 50 Cent episode, 50th episode of SportsShack. I'm very happy and very appreciative that we get to do this, me and you, Dennis, when we have the opportunity. Because I know life gets in the way. We're busy people, especially you're in grad school. You're going to be Mr. Tui in the future. I'm very excited for that.
Mr. Tui. Yeah.
Mr. Tui. And so no, a lot's been going on. Life's been going on. I write, a course for sometimes Gen Nation, and then Blitz Sports Media, a new site that's up and coming, and I'm trying to work my way into. Then obviously, I still do street promotions per Conistor when I can, but also as I work, as obviously as custodian during the night, and obviously other ventures. So we're just as you get older, and especially in this economy where nothing is cheap. I hope in the future we look back in this and we can be like, yeah, damn, we paid $80 for gas. And again, it's a whole other situation, different story. Don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying that's the state of the. I'm just using that as an example of the state of the economy. Whether it's buying a house,
Mm-hmm.
maybe buying a car, maybe going to a Mets game where tickets are through the roof. Any sporting event, where maybe it's the Knicks, where if you want to go to a playoff game, it's definitely at least 1,000.
Pokemon
Which
cards are like $8 a pack now. They used to be $3.99 when I was a kid. Pokemon cards.
we're like $14.99 now. It's like
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. $8 for a pack of Pokemon cards. You get 10 cards, Brandon. You get ripped off.
When I look back at some of the moments of like back in the day as a kid, like some things were cheap. Like it's like it's not even real to me. Like it doesn't feel real.
Yeah,
Like some
it's like I remember when COVID first started. I was an essential worker, so I still had to do my job. And so I would drive, and the gas was so cheap at first. Gas was so cheap because nobody was leaving their house, so they had a surplus. So I was driving everywhere. That was a little adventure. I had to go to Buffalo Wild Wings all the time, get the takeout because I was like, this is mint, bro. I actually just closed that Buffalo Wild Wings down. I'm mad.
allergies. Thank you. I know they closed the one by Broadway Mall.
Yeah. Do you want tissue, Brandon? No. Okay.
Pass it over.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, but they still got the one in Farmingdale. That's my
I know.
go-to B-dub spot if I had to go to get Buffalo Wild Wings. I've been in the mood for wings. I know I said I want potentially Croxley's potentially on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and then also maybe I can wings tomorrow. I've been craving wings. I don't know why, but that's
Me
a whole
too.
nother. But even those are expensive.
The whole world's gotten expensive.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? That's why we're here. We're even though we're not giving out subscriptions yet, but we're a free podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But if SeatGeek, Vivid Seats, you want to sponsor us, if we can sponsor you guys, we can get some compensation. Please let us know.
Take
We're
pics.
definitely open for that. You know, obviously, we have gotten sponsored by Maple Bats, which legit bad.
Yeah, you
Um,
have it.
I saw at Fanatics Fest that they there's I don't know what day I'm gonna go. I really want to go to the Friday because it's it's literally Met Day. There's Jose Reyes, there's Keith Fernandez, David Wright. I think Carlos Beltran's gonna be there. I don't know how much he's gonna go for. Um, obviously Daryl Strawberry, Mike Piazza. Even though I've met Daryl. I did go for Daryl Strawberry. Um, I tried to meet Piazza. That didn't happen for reasons don't want to get into. Still love Piazza. So great guy though. So maybe I will meet him.
You
And
said that in such a cryptic way for reasons I'm not gonna get into. Such a cryptic way. Okay. Oh, it's moved at a weird spot. Okay.
no, you're good. But again, I don't know if did I ever tell you the story with the Piazza?
No, you did not.
So you know how like
You probably did at the time, and I'm just forgetting it. I am not the
well I
best.
don't like talk. Sometimes I don't like talking about it because like it was
Oh,
kind
don't
of
worry
a
about it.
like because no, it was not bad. So what happened was I ended up backstage and I saw almost every like athlete. I actually even saw like an Olympian gymnastic, which was Jordan Chillis. I think that was her. She was friendly. I was like, what?
No, I'm not. I'm just
Right.
gonna put it to share on the socials. I was gonna take a picture and to just screenshot the YouTube version.
Or that too.
Like,
But
it's
was gonna,
tired, man. Tired.
no, I feel you. You good? You good? But what
Thank
happened
you.
was, like she was back there, and like I'm saying, like that was like I think she was like she's an Olympian gymnastic, like, and like she was friendly. Like I'm saying, like some people like I saw backstage, and I'm like I need like I'm sure there's like some athletes I saw like I had like no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Be cool one day if I can get media passes back there, like one day, but we'll see. It's a dream. But I'm saying I even saw Longquist. I saw Joe Burrow. I dabbed up CD Lamb. I even saw Dan Marino. Joe Montana walked right past me. I was like, yo, I'm Montana. He like completely ignored me. I was like, okay, uh, you know,
And that's why Tom Brady's better than you. Thank you. Thank you.
that's right. But I mean, I get it. I get it. He probably gets like seen by so many. I get it. Like I'm not gonna get offended. Hey, these are the athletes. Are people too. Lundqvist was. I think my favorite maybe was seeing Lundqvist. I actually got to shake. I shook his hand. I said, Mr. Lundqvist. I said, I'm glad you're in good health, sir. And he was like taken aback by it. He was like, not taken aback by it, but he was like, it looked like no one ever said that to him before. So he said, he's like, thank you. So I appreciate that. Because
Yeah,
a
yeah. He was
couple
in
weeks,
bad
like,
shape. Yeah.
like I watched his documentary, and he was like, maybe like a couple weeks prior, and it talked about his like open, like what happened with his heart situation, like deep into it, and obviously talked about his life, growing up, and then obviously making it on the Rangers. He's basically the Derek Jeter for the Rangers,
Mm-hmm.
and then but like it's he's a good guy. So I love it was a great documentary, and again like I remember like it was a possibility like he almost was gonna die. So it's like the fact that he didn't die, and he's alive, healthy, and well. It's good to see that with anybody, whether you're an athlete or whether you're a celebrity or whether you're just a regular human being. So that was just it was a cool little interaction with him. Like he was, but yeah, no, that was nice. With me and Lundqvist, he was appreciative of that. He was like thank you, so I appreciate that. And I didn't bother him too long. But that was cool though. But either way, so with Mike Piazza, we was gonna say I was back there to meet him specifically because I had my Piazza jersey. So I did say hi to him. I was like, Mr. Piazza. He's like, how you doing? Yeah, and like he was signing stuff because I guess they signed stuff and then um yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree, Jason. Let's see. Someone commented. What's up, Kyle? Thank you for joining in. I don't know if you're still in here, cousin Kyle.
Oh.
Um, but with the Mike Piazza situation, hip situation. But I guess back like the reason why the backstage they sign stuff, they sign like memorabilia, and then they sell that Fanatics, and I guess like they make a profit. I guess the players make a profit too. Um, but he was doing that, and then I was supposed to maybe talk to him for like 5 minutes, and they were going to post it. I was going to be on the Fanatic site, like the page. But he was too busy where like I guess he didn't have the time, but like I was backstage for that. And when I go to the Mike Piazza line, it's packed. It's insane, which I get it. Um, but like I thought I was gonna maybe have the opportunity to go back and maybe still meet him and I would have him sign my jersey, I would have him sign my baseball that I have. And I didn't get that opportunity to go backstage. So I missed out on a Piazza. I missed out like interacting with him and I missed out on that. So did I lose money? Yes. Live and you learn. But the way I look at it, like I did meet a bunch of other like athletes backstage. So I kind of think I made that up. Like I did get a photo with Charles Woodson,
Cool.
and I was I did meet I'm saying all the people I met. So like I try to look at that as like, hey, I guess that was my paid money. Yeah, I made up for it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know. But in terms of meeting him this year, like I don't know if I'm gonna meet. I might not meet him this year, just like as a 1 year suspension for
Yeah.
that. Or I'm hoping that like in the future when I find a way to like meet him again and I'll tell him my story. Like, hey, like I was supposed to meet you backstage. Like I didn't get that opportunity. Funny enough, I have a baseball. Can you sign it? Like some
I will say, knowing people who have met him before, I am unsurprised that you did not meet him.
and
He
again,
does
you know what?
not have the best fan reputation. Sorry, I'm not trying to dunk on Mets fans, but Mike Piazza does not have the best fan reputation. Not
It,
everybody is. Not everybody is. You
so
know,
maybe I
it's
should have
just
wore. I probably should have wore my. I thought about wearing my Devonte Adams Jets jersey. I surprisingly have. I do surprisingly have a Devonte Adams Jets jersey. I haven't got a Geno Smith jersey yet. I'm waiting for that to go on clearance. Or if I really want to, I want to spend it, sure, why not? But I'm not gonna. But again, holding off on that to get on clearance.
I'm
And
surprised you don't have a Geno from the first time.
I
You
do,
did at one point, right?
I do, but it probably doesn't fit me. I don't even know if we still have it. I gotta look actually.
I'm
But
just trying to
anyways,
send
I
OBJ.
I have again Devonte Adams, one of my favorite wide receivers ever. The fact that he was a Jet, I had to get his jersey. Why not? But I wasn't going to spend full price on it, so I got it on clearance. And it was pretty cheap, and it kept going down. It kept going down, but like I didn't think it was, so I said, hey, screw it, maybe buy it. I got paid pretty cheap. I'm pretty sure I paid maybe like $50, 49, compared to being like paying like 120. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But anyways, so like he was there too. So maybe if I wore my Devontae Adams, that would have been dope. Oh, I would have framed it right there. But hey, what are you gonna do? I get it. Like, hey, like I try not to be too much of like
The
again,
fanboy.
like yeah, like hey, like I'm a sports geek, but like again, like I'm also human, and like I try to see, other people like so like hey, I didn't get to meet him, not a big deal. Like he was busy as f,
Hmm.
like I'm not gonna freak out, but I'm saying that was my, so again, like, I mean, but maybe I'm gonna meet him in the future, and maybe I'll tell him the story like hey, it'd be funny enough like hey, like tried to meet you. It didn't happen. He signed my baseball, like. But that was my story. But no, that was still a good Fanatics Fest. But I'm debating when and I definitely, I try to make it a thing to go every year. What now? Whether I want to pay,
I,
that's
you know me. I
you know,
did it once, unless of course it's somebody who I'm like, oh my god. Then I don't think I will do it again. Especially because, as we said earlier, life ain't cheap, brother. So I'm not trying to. You gotta do what you gotta do. So, but
right.
I
No,
will
yeah, I
take a look. Oh,
feel.
wow, it's the day after my birthday too.
If you ever, I mean, you always could come online with me. Like I'm saying, like I didn't know it the first year that me and you went. Like you actually could bring like another person with you online with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know that. So like my friend Chris, he wanted to get OBJ, and
I'm
actually,
gonna crash my computer.
yeah,
No. Keep going. Keep going. I just have 800 research tabs open right now, basically. Not
no, you could.
800. That's being a little hyperbolic.
No, you could. But he wanted to. I'm saying he wanted to get something from OBJ, and I was able to meet him, and it was pretty cool. Like I'm saying, like it was actually OBJ was actually really nice, and he actually was back. He actually was. We actually did run into him backstage. Like he was walking around backstage, and he was like pretty cool. It's like we knew him. So like Chris likes to joke about it. He's like, oh, are we technically friends? Like it was
Hmm.
fun. And then it's funny enough, a security guard actually big MF. He actually did like bulldoze right by me, like, and he did not give a shit. He did not care. He actually like and like it really pissed me off. Like if you were there, you would have been like pissed with me. Like he literally like bumped it like literally like bulldozed right past me on purpose. And I almost gave like I almost said something, but I was like, I'm backstage, be composed, you know.
Well, that's
Like,
like
'cause, I get it,
I
Like,
was.
the guy was a
Go
big
ahead.
mother. He was big. I'm telling you, like, so it's
Yeah,
you got to know your battles too.
I was once walking out of a bar. You might have been with me. That I had a cup of water.
I think
Cup
I
of
was.
water. And the guy at the bar, like put his arm out and like stopped me in the chest because I wasn't expecting it. And he's like, "You can't bring that out." And I looked at him and I was like, "Fine, I'll throw it out." And I just thought to myself, like, "What a jerk!" Like, especially because I'm such an easygoing guy, and I thought to myself, like, "Yeah, buddy, why don't you get off that stool? You want to push me, Because especially it's like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, big tough guy. All right. Meanwhile, I'm 6'4.5." And just like,
you
oh,
really six? Wait, what?
yeah, I'm 6'4" and a
You
half.
really 6'4"?
Yeah,
I know you're a tall guy, but sure, I didn't know that.
it says it on my driver's license. Actually, it says I'm shorter on my driver's license because I haven't updated it. But yeah, it says it on my medical records.
Hmm,
I,
shit.
I trust them when I had to get my surgery done there to make sure everything was completely accurate. All
Right,
right, but I think
but
we spent
no,
enough time on Fanatics Fest, right?
no, we did. Like I
Okay.
said, whether you want to cover me or maybe say my dad was mentioning so I might take him, or I might go by myself. I don't know. I gotta see. But either way, Fanatics. That was good. But there's been a lot going on, and there's been a lot going on in the sports world. Obviously, the Knicks are making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, the Cavaliers. I did watch the Cavaliers and Pistons game the other night. I know there was a foul at the end of regulation. I guess was it Mobley that got that picked up that he caused a foul, but it wasn't called.
Listen, respectfully, I understand everybody likes to kill the refs. Some would say I am one of the biggest kill the refs people you'll ever meet. I'm a sore loser. I'm open about it in every board game I play, in every cup pong game I play. I take things too seriously. That the referees are not why the Pistons lost that game. At the heart of hearts, Pistons fans and players know why they haven't been winning. Their team is playing like Garbo. All-star Jaren Duran. What do you got for us, buddy? 9 points, 5 rebounds. Oh, that's lovely. He's been basically unplayable all postseason. Even when they played the Magic, Jalen Duran was unplayable. In 25 minutes of game time, he was a minus 16 plus minus. Now, this was an overtime game. I actually did not watch this whole game because I had class at the time. But still, like, the guys that they're getting bailed out by Paul Reed. I gave everybody a time to Google who that is because you probably don't know who I'm talking about. Isaiah Stewart isn't really doing a whole lot for them. Defensively, he's been okay, but again, in the stat sheet, not much to talk about. Karis LeVert, their sixth-man scorer who they are relying on for points, especially with Duncan Robinson not playing in this last one. A whopping 2 for 7, 0 for 3 from 3, and 7 points on the game. Thanks for playing. Like this is not the reason why they lost.
Right.
This is not the reason why they lost. And it's kind of just obnoxious, not for you to say, but for like their players and fans to be whining about it. Maybe this is why you lost. The Cavaliers shot 40% from 3 on more attempts, and the Pistons shot 33% on less attempts and less makes. Maybe that had something to do with it. And mind you, Duncan Robinson, their best 3-point shooter on the Pistons, didn't play, but still, it's got to come from someone. Like Cade Cunningham is not your entire team, and Tobias Harris is good, Long Island guy, 1 for 7 from 3, 6 for 19 from the field. Danish Jenkins, 19 points, 8 for 17 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3. Maybe if you guys were hitting your 3-point shots, you'd actually have a chance at winning. Stop it already. Stop it already. And this is the same Detroit Pistons team that was the 1 seed that should have absolutely steamrolled the coldest team in the league coming into the playoffs. Probably, if we were ranking them, the worst ranked team going into the playoffs, the Orlando Magic. And the Magic took them to 7 games, blowing a 3-1 lead. I don't have sympathy. I don't. So maybe it was a bad call. Maybe not. Maybe it was a bad no call. Maybe not. Whatever. However you want to look at it. But you got to move on. Not you. I generalize too much.
I will move on. I got you.
Right. But like it's one of those things like, where's the accountability? I felt the same thing with like Embiid whining about the Knicks at one point about referees. Oh my God. You're Joel Embiid. Shut up. Like that guy's made a career out of flopping. He's the 21st century Vlade Divac, who used to be nicknamed Vlade D Flop. So give me a break. Like I saw Kevin Garnett ripping him about that.
Yeah.
He was like how many times is this guy on the floor? Every single possession. And then Paul Pierce was like, my best friend Paul Pierce, speaking of Fanatics Fest, literally my best friend Paul Pierce.
That's right. He signed your baseball.
He signed my baseball, yes. Yeah, Basketball Hall of Famer. And
Continue.
Paul Pierce was like, maybe like 4 or 5 times a game. And Kevin Garnett's like, a game? A possession, maybe. So like I don't want to hear from Embiid. Like I don't want to hear from the Pistons. Like, guys. Another thing with fouls from the Pistons, and maybe if your team's entire way of playing defense wasn't whacking the hell out of people, maybe you want to get called for fouls. I'm just spitballing ideas here. You
Yeah.
know, I don't want to hear it.
It's
You
been
know,
it's definitely been a fun series.
it has
The
been.
playoffs have been fun, especially when your team is in it. It makes it more, as I like to say, watchable.
No, don't be saying that. My team got swept in the first round. That's not
And
funny.
again,
Nobody's rooting.
I'm not saying basketball is not. I'm not. Again, I want to make the reference. I'm not saying basketball is unwatchable. I'm
Mhm.
just saying it's been fun when your team is in it because you want to see who you're potentially going to be playing in the next round.
Of course.
You know, and especially each team has been very, again, like I said, basketball. It's not unwatchable. It's just fun when your team is in it. It's more fun when your team is in it.
Yeah, and it's always fun to watch playoff basketball when it's intense, and I understand kind of the need to like, let's see how it, you know, you want the games to be allowed to be a little more intense, but at the same time too, I just I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of the guys in the regular season that were putting in work for the Pistons are just on milk cartons right now. I just I don't.
Milk
I thought
cartons.
going into the series, Pistons were very heavy favorites, and they're still favorite. They're projected to win in Cleveland, 53% chance of winning tonight's game. Meanwhile, you look at the injury reports, and it's literally only Pistons players: Kevin Herter, Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson. Uh, Whatever. I try not to push certain things on people, but just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
If you're looking to make a couple of dollars, I I don't understand this. The Pistons have looked lost the last two games. I understand it was an overtime loss the other day, so maybe I'm being a little, you know, kicking the dog too much. But boys, tighten up, boys. And Jalen Duran, do something. Do something. You're an all star, bro. You're an all star. Now I know in the playoffs, Jared Allen's been playing like freaking Nate Thurmond all postseason. I get it, but come on, guys. You're letting old James Harden carve you up. Come on, man. And Donovan Mitchell, what a dog. Another New York guy.
Yeah, he almost was a Nick, and then Cleveland I guess just made a better offer. I know for the longest time I remember the Donovan Mitchell to Knicks rumors
Mm-hmm.
for a very long time, and it just didn't happen. It just I'm just thinking of all the things that could have happened for the Knicks that maybe even they could have gotten to the spot still, or not, or it might have not. It might have not. It's like what could have been. What happened if they didn't trade for Karl Anthony Towns? What happened if they didn't sign Jalen Brunson? And then like, what if they traded for Giannis? Like, who was going to be affected? It's good they didn't jump the gun on that. So many people want, and I kept saying to people, and like, again, I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm a casual Knicks fan. Again, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm more casual though, so my knowledge is limited. But it's again, like I said, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm in it though. I'm a casual.
Mm-hmm.
But I was saying to people, like, why would you trade? Even me was saying, why would you trade for Giannis when you went this far with this core?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was necessary. And nothing against Giannis. Like I get it. Giannis is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like he's a generational superstar. I get it. But at the same time, what's the need for it? I get it. He wants to come to New York. It would have done money, a boatload like jerseys would have sold, business. And again, I mean, would they have been in the same spot? We don't know. But again, basketball, it's a team sport. And the way the Knicks were playing was a team effort. So again, you're not going to win just off of one player. You're gonna do that all to Giannis, put all the pressure on him like that. So again, I just so again, I love just seeing how where the Knicks have gone, like with just this core. And I'm saying it's definitely interesting to see like what could have been with different players. Like would it have been the same with Donovan Mitchell? Would it have been the same with Giannis? So I don't. It's what's going on with the Knicks right now. It's working, so it's gonna be exciting to see how far. And I don't know. Cleveland looks really good. That was just a good game. They're going to be, I both teams I think are just pretty competitive. When you look at Detroit, then you look at Cleveland. They're just it's just fighting to make it to the next round, and obviously Cleveland has the edge. As I go back to Cleveland, I felt bad for the Pistons fans because like it was a point. It was like 115 to like 16, like 111, and then in overtime, and then there's fans were leaving already because they knew that was it, and like at that point, but like what are you going to do? With like 1 second left, down by 4, that's it. the game's done. So it's been a fun playoff so far.
Mhm. It really has been. There's some sweeps. My team got swept. My dumb team got swept in the first round. But aside from that, it's been mostly pretty competitive, or at least watchable. Your team absolutely steamrolled over the last. You guys are on a 7-game winning streak in the playoffs, so we'll probably get to that in a little bit. So, like, there have been some series that were blowouts. Thunder Lakers was never competitive aside from Game 4. Um, but aside from that, like, Pistons Magic was actually really good. It just sucks that, like, I love Game 7s. I hate bad Game 7s. I really like, like when it's. I feel like the Kings and the Warriors had a series like this a couple years ago, where like a Game 7 where it's like these teams like want to kill each other and it's close the whole game. Like it really is like an evenly matched thing. That didn't happen. Pistons like completely ran away with it. Whatever, nobody cares. But it's like I'm happy for that. I hope Spurs and Timberwolves go 7 because I do feel like that's a fun series. I don't think it is. I think the Spurs are ending that one tonight 4-2. It really probably should have been done in 5. Wembanyama's playing out of his doggone mind. He got ejected the other night.
I did
And
see that. I did see he got ejected the other night.
even without him, the Spurs still put up a fight. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do they keep doing this? And it's exciting because, like I think as time goes on, I think maybe we'll look at the 2010s as a bit of like a lull period in the history of the NBA because it really did just turn into LeBron versus the Warriors. People like that. I didn't like that. It was too predictable. It was just too predictable. It wasn't fun. Now it's unpredictable in the way where it's like, well, the Thunder, they've had an easy path, but in the regular season, they actually lost 4 out of the 5 games against the Spurs they played. So that is a bit of an equalizer. And a lot of those games, both teams were healthy. Now, if they played the Timberwolves, different story. I think they only played each other 3 times. But, I'm not sure how that would shake up. But even like this overwhelming favorite going into the playoffs, being
Right.
the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're not entirely unbeatable. So that there is something to keep an eye on here. And then you have the history of the Knicks versus Cavaliers and Pistons. Knicks beat the Cavaliers the last couple of playoff years. At any time Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson have played each other in the playoffs, Brunson's won. So if you're a Cavaliers fan, you're talking into, can they go over the hump this one time and beat this kind of little rivalry?
Yeah. Yeah.
And not only that, go to the finals as your reward. That could be exciting. James Harden, his first final 14 years after his first, and it could be against the team he started his career on. There's a lot you could talk about there that I'm excited about. And the Pistons, if they go to the conference final, their first conference final in almost 20 years, 19 years. So I'm excited. I hope that it just stays competitive because I watched like the Anaheim Ducks game last night. I had Ducks Sabres in the Stanley Cup Finals, whatever. That ship sailed.
Yeah. That's been
Sadly, my Ducks got hunted, but it sucks to watch a closeout game be a blowout. Like, that game was going into the end of the second period. It was 3-1 Golden Knights, and it's like this is like
it's definitely
doing?
been what was I going to say? I know we're getting into hockey in a bit. I know the Sabres, they've gone pretty far, and I don't feel like a lot of people had that in the bingo card this year. But the Spurs, it's again, but all these teams in the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks, can they get over the hump and make it to the finals for the first time in over 27 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, a lot of people have them going far. I hope they keep it going. My concern with the Knicks is that I hope too much of this rest is not a bad thing. It's good because you get OG and Nobi back,
Mm-hmm.
which is a plus, right? And obviously when they kept winning it against the 76ers, I kept saying it. If you keep winning, just keep him out for as long as you can. If he's not needed to play, you don't do more damage than you already need to. Luckily, that wasn't the case. They ended up dominating the 76ers, literally taking over Philly, and obviously, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. My concern for them, I guess, like I said, it's just I hope too much of this rest is not a concern, is not a problem. it could be also a good thing because they're well energized, they're well rested, and they're, I just hope the fire that they're not having is not burnt out yet, is not lit out yet. Um,
Yeah. Oh,
no,
go ahead.
continue. What are you gonna say?
The biggest thing for me with the Knicks in terms of the rest versus rust thing, Mikal Bridges, who struggled at no, let's be honest, struggled throughout most of the season, especially offensively, scorching hot the playoffs, scorching hot. The last series against the 76ers, he averaged 32 minutes a night, 17 and a half points, 3.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, a steal, 1.8 steals per game, zero point 0.3 blocks. And Brandon, listen to these shooting splits. Didn't miss a free throw, 5 attempts. All right, small sample size, but shot 38.5% from three and 63.8% from the field.
Okay.
Getting 17 and a half points when you're barely going to the free throw line with those shooting splits, that means something. So to have a guy who has been a little streaky during the year having this off period, that's something I'm concerned about. The rest of the team, I'm not. Jalen Brunson, for my money, is the best closer in the NBA right now. The last 2 minutes of a game, there's nobody in the league I want to have the ball more than Jalen Brunson. He just has that X factor. Donovan Mitchell, same thing. Donovan, we saw what he did the other night, tied Sleepy Floyd for the most points in a half in the playoffs. So it's just with 39. They each had 39. Sleepy Floyd did it for the Warriors.
Sleepy
I think
Floyd.
68. But,
Okay.
So it might have been 72, 71, one of the years they went to the finals. Whatever. And
Continue.
so
Yep.
those are the kind of things that I'm a little worried about. Like Karl Anthony Towns looks so good that last series. That's something that, I'd be concerned about is not so much of like the Brunson piece. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns was shooting 54 and a half points, 54 and a half from three on 11 attempts. That's not nothing. On 34 attempts from the field, he was making 61.8% of them. That's something I'm concerned about. But aside from that, I got to be honest, and Anunoby looked fantastic before he got hurt. 21 points per game in that series against the 76ers. So this team, I'm very curious to see how it shakes up. Pistons have given you guys a bit of a hard time in the past. Cavaliers, I feel like you guys have played well against, but not this regular season. So we'll see how it goes. But at the same time, too, all those other guys, the other guys, as Shaq likes to say, throughout the regular season, we're not really pulling their weight for the Knicks the way, fans and the front office and the team would have hoped, and the players themselves would have hoped, especially Mikal Bridges. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Go Knicks. My team's out. My Suns are out.
Did you see that Dylan Brooks the other night was courtside watching LeBron?
I did.
You see them? I've seen all over social media.
Now, people are focusing in on the LeBron thing, like he hates LeBron that much. Him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are known to be like very close friends. They're both on Team Canada together. They're tight. So there's a few Canadian guys on the
Wait, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or LeBron and
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Dylan Brooks are very close friends. So that's probably the number one reason he was there was to see.
He was there, right? OKC.
I think almost like a quarter of the Thunder on Team Canada. So
yeah, I just love that. I don't know. It's crazy. ESPN was able to get that. Or was that ESPN? Or was that was ESPN that was on, right?
I forget. They're all the same. But it was so funny to see him like literally like chuckling like Bowser as the camera is zooming out.
That's great. But honestly, what do you think of that's definitely a big topic to talk about right now, especially on the show. What do you think what's going on with LeBron? I don't understand I feel like I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's going to play another season. I would love to see him back with the Cavs. But do you think that's possible or no? That's kind of like
the Lakers. People say like, what about if LeBron goes back to Cleveland? Does Cleveland want LeBron? I don't know. That team is a game away from going to the conference finals without him. It's like, well, they could use him. It's like,
could they?
Do they? Is LeBron gonna be playing off the ball for James Harden? because James Harden's kind of like their point guard, and then down the stretch, Donovan Mitchell and ISO is a different animal. I get that, but or what's the alternative? They're going to use LeBron's going to have the ball and facilitate. He's a hell of a passer. We know that. James Harden is going to be like an off ball, like a Klay Thompson, Ray Allen type. I don't know, man. Like that's kind of a strange fit. I think his best bet is to stay with the Lakers. This team, when it was Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James, this team was a wagon. Why not? Why not run it back? All right, so you need an upgrade from DeAndre Ayton. All right. Maybe fill out your bench a little bit. That's not that crazy. Do I think this team's winning a championship? I don't know. But I think if you're them, you at least want to try again with those three. If LeBron really wants to leave, I don't know where he would go. But I don't think – I almost think that Detroit's like for fit, I think Detroit's a better fit than Cleveland is.
We've finally seen him on another team, like besides like the Lakers or like Cleveland. I feel like people keep forgetting about the Heat days. Am I wrong to say that?
Yeah, but that he's not going back there. That did not.
No, I'm just saying. I feel like people keep forgetting like the Miami Heat days. Like he was a Miami Heat. You know,
that's what best days.
That's what drew me into basketball was him with the Heat. You know, and obviously, you know, as I faded away from basketball for a bit when he left and he went to Cleveland. I was watching here and there, you know, but obviously as I was trying to get back into it slowly as the casual that I am. The Knicks were kind of, you know, the Knicks were a team I decided to go the root for forever. And be, you know, I decided the Knicks are going to be my favorite NBA basketball team. And the 20 to 21 season, that's really what caught me on again because like they finally broke out of their playoff drought and were getting better. They were watchable, and I give credit to the people that watched them during the Kevin Knox years, you know, the Andre Iguodala years, you know, Lance Thomas, or Lane Thomas, if I'm correct.
Lane Thomas is on the Washington Nationals, buddy. Or was on the Washington Nationals. I think he's on the Padres now.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You know.
I hear what you mean. Now I will say a lot of Knicks fans that I know and see posting and see some of like the getting fired up and saying stuff like that. I remember when a lot of you Knicks fans were wearing Kevin Durant Nets jerseys, and I'm not going to let you forget. You can't spell Alonzo Trier if your life depended on it. And I was watching some of those games back then where I was kind of more of a Phoenix Suns fan. I'd root for my Suns against the Knicks, but I'd watch a ton of Knicks games because they were on. And I remember thinking, like, Jesus Christ, this team is unwatchable. So I feel like, you know, there's a few Knicks fans coming out of the woodwork here that still got the Dicks tag on their jerseys. Just saying.
Not me, of course. Like, you're not talking about me, right?
No, I don't know. But you're not, between us, like, you're not really like a huge basketball fan. You don't pretend to be. You know, like you follow it, you follow it, but you don't say like I live and die by every game.
Oh no, yeah, no. No, like I said, I'm a basketball fan, but not die.
Yeah, you're a casual.
Yeah, I'm a casual, and I say it. You know, I can say that. Like that makes me as much of a Knick. Like I'm saying, like that makes me enough of a Knick fan, and at least I'm not like I'm not gonna be like saying like I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm casual. You know.
Yeah. I respect it. There's a certain level of nobility to that. To say that, like, I don't watch every game, but this is the only team I follow. There's a certain level of nobility to that.
And like, if they do win the finals this year, they'll be the first of my teams to win a championship. Like that's huge to me. I want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they win it, I'm
Dude, if the Knicks, with how insane Knicks fans are, again, most of them were Nets fans 5 years ago. Like if they win the championship, and by saying that, I mean younger Knicks fans, because even when we were in school growing up, there is a lot of black Kevin Garnett jerseys. All right, so people are going to be like, it's going to be anarchy. We're gonna call Batman, the Super Friends, the Justice League, the Avengers.
I would hope that New York it will be an Avengers level threat.
Dude, Omega level, definitely an Omega level threat. Like 100%.
I would hope that An Avengers level threat.
Yeah.
I would, I,
Hello, Green
I would
Lantern. We
hope,
need you. We need you in Times Square, Bubba.
I would hope that the New York City would at least behave themselves to where they're not too rowdy. Because again, like the video I saw of J.R. Smith,
That was ridiculous. And again,
again, it was, and I don't, it's probably been worse before that. So again, I think again, like I said last week, the last episode, it shouldn't have taken someone like, a celebrity like J.R. Smith to kind of be like, oh, like, well, this Knicks crowd's getting crazy. Like, have we not seen the videos? Have we not seen the Knicks crowd? Like, come on. Yeah.
yeah,
So
let's
I would
dial it
hope
back.
if they do win it, the Knicks crowd can be a little bit composed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, now I'm excited to see who the Knicks play. I think they start playing May 19th. I think that's the first of the game of the Eastern Conference Finals.
That is the day all my assignments are due. Yes.
And now
Marked on my calendar.
in terms of, the Spurs and the Timberwolves, I think Wemby's insane. He's a freak of nature. He's an insane athlete. Like dominant. Like it's just scary. Like I feel like in basketball, just in any sport, but especially in basketball, when you want a chance to win and compete, you want like and just with the confidence, almost like you have Shaq on the team. That's the
Mm-hmm.
type of player you want. You want someone like Wemby, all around defender, could score, and it's just and not physical, but not too physical because obviously he got ejected. But again, just
Mm-hmm.
a dominating player.
You want to talk about an Avengers level threat. Victor Wembanyama, what he's doing to the Timberwolves, buddy. That is an Omega level threat. That's an X-Men level threat, bro. 20 points per game, 13.2 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists, 0.4 steals, 4.4 blocks. Mind you, he got ejected in the first or second quarter of one of these games. So he's doing all this, Brandon, on averaging 29.6 minutes. Unbelievable. One thing I will say against him: 7 3 pointers made, 26 attempts, 26.9% from three. That's not good. He's been terrible from three. Not good. From the field, 50.7. All right. That's really realistically, that's doing some math here. 29 for 26 minus 71. 29 for like 50 something. So it's actually not as stark. The field goal, because outside of threes, he has been more efficient. But aside from that, dude, you're getting 4.4 blocks per game. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? He had something like 8.5 blocks of game one. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I got to say though, some of the rotations that the Timberwolves were throwing out there, it's like, guys, what are we doing here? And Rudy Gobert is trying to, he's trying to stop him. He's not doing a terrible job on him, but it's one of those, especially they know each other so well. Rudy Gobert like trained Wembanyama, but that's like one of those things where this guy's. I want to be a hater. But I can't, bro. I can't. I can't even wear a Spurs jersey because my Spurs jersey is like a dress on me now. It's like a nightgown. It was baggy when I got it, and I lost 120 pounds since. My Tim Duncan jersey. I like that Tim Duncan jersey too. It's nice. It's high quality. None of the listeners care. All right. So I'm excited. Brandon, what is your dream NBA Finals matchup this playoffs?
Um, I feel like I want it to obviously be Knicks. I want it to be Knicks Spurs. I want to see how they're gonna fare. I want to see how they're gonna fare against Wemby because I don't know. OKC to me, I think is pretty dominant. We've seen it in the series against the Lakers. Um, I would, I'd be scared. I know the Knicks have a good shot to win it all this year, but I feel like if they win it if going up against OKC, I feel like that's a little bit of a too much of a test because again they're, you know, um, again it's just a little scary in my opinion. Like I would not want to play against OKC. So I mean, if you wanted to be like, if the Knicks do find a way where they play OKC and they dominate and they beat them, then this is probably arguably the best Knicks team of all time. So, but I don't want to personally see the see them play against OKC. Am I wrong to feel that way?
No, 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 no. You're completely right. There's like another little part of the story, which would be Isaiah Hartenstein looking for revenge.
That too.
Um,
Yeah, because they let
yeah.
him. He signed with the OKC with OKC. I would want to
So
see them play against the Spurs, Knicks Spurs, because I just want to see them play against Wemby. I want to see how they would play against him. I also feel like it'd be the best team they could. I feel like they dominate against the Spurs, even though the Spurs they're a tough team. I'm not gonna deny that, but I'd prefer them over OKC.
mhm. and I just think you guys match up better. This Thunder, I feel like you're like the Knicks, but better at everything. What I mean by that is your team is a tough defensive team. Thunder are a better defensive team. Jalen Brunson's a beast, but SGA is something different. You know what I mean? Like every little thing you guys do good, they do slightly better. They have a really deep bench. They can, like just everything's just up a little bit. But I think you guys, the kind of counter to that, even though they're the reigning champions, you guys are a more experienced team. Mikal Bridges played in an NBA Finals and was a really good player in an NBA Finals. My beloved team.
Right.
Karl Anthony Towns, he's been in the league a long time. Jalen Brunson's had some really big games in the playoffs. Like you have guys like that on your roster that are, kind of proven. OG Anunoby won a ring. With Toronto, he was on that team. He was a huge factor in that team, that team's dominance in 2019. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's exciting no matter who you play. The only thing I would push back on if it was Knicks Thunder, and I don't want to write off, by the way, I'm not trying to write off the Cavaliers and Pistons, but either of those teams could beat you guys. No disrespect intended.
Right. No, yeah.
Yeah. I always say the Thunder commit the cardinal sin. They're boring to watch because of all the freaking fouls. It's boring to watch. Let the game play. I don't like the stopping all the time. Let the pace of the game live. Go on. Want to pivot to baseball or?
In terms of baseball, I'm excited for the Subway Series. That's going to
Mhm.
be interesting. I know the Mets have finally they've been, as I've said it plenty of times, and they've been watchable.
Yeah.
They've been interestingly watched, at least the past couple of games. And supposedly after May
Interesting.
1st, supposedly 8-4, which I don't feel
Mhm.
like is talked about enough. I got to give credit where the credit's due. Carson Bench, which I'm actually trying to write an article about him for the site. When I do get that, I'll send it to you, and you can give me your thoughts, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or anything. I would love to send it to you just to hear your thoughts on just my, just his story and how he's been doing and like what he, and just like how it's helping the Mets right now.
Mhm.
Um, so and then trying to get my train of thought. So I love that he's been picking it up. That's exactly what the Mets needed. Especially young up and coming prospect rookie who's supposed to be the future of the team. He's showing it. AJ Ewing turning it to be a stud. I love it. Literally had probably the best rookie debut series I've seen as so far for a Met, and that says a lot. He looked good. He had a triple in his first game, RBI triple. He had a home run his first home run yesterday. So right away coming in, making an impact right away as a rookie. Providing the spark that they need. It's insane. And that was a pick that they got from the Jacob DeGrom pick, that a compensation where it was a fourth-round pick. Where when they let with DeGrom signed with the Rangers, the Mets got a compensatory pick.
Mhm.
That was then used to draft AJ Ewing. So so far it's looking pretty good. That's what the Mets need. They need an offensive spark, and everybody's finally putting it together. Soto's breaking out of a slump. But again, the Detroit series to me was big because it showed that the Mets could do good. They can be watchable. They could hit, and they could pitch when they can need to. And again, they could just dominate. A lot of people. It sucks that they couldn't take either one out of those 12 games they lost. A 12-game losing streak, I feel like it's definitely going to haunt them the rest of the season and down the line if they want to if they want to make it to the playoffs. Um, I'm excited for the Subway Series because I'm not going to go because no one wants to go, and I feel like what's going on with the LIRR with the strike. I don't know what's going on with that. It might not be better traveling on the train. and who knows what the parking is going to be like. So I'm not going to go, but I'm going to be enjoying watching it. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Mets play. I'm hoping they don't get swept because the Yankees, they've actually been a little bit slow, if I'm correct. They got swept by the Brewers. They didn't have a good
Mm.
series against Baltimore. I actually know someone that was in Baltimore on Monday. Watched them lose 3-2. Um, but no, I'm excited. I think it's going to be an interesting series, and because both teams have a lot to kind of prove against each other.
Yeah, and I agree because the Yankees are looking for a get right. I think you could hear Aaron Boone in a lot of these post game press conferences lately when they've lost be a lot angrier than usual and a lot clearer about what he's mad about. Like yesterday, or excuse me, the last game of the Baltimore series, Volpe gets called back up. He's at shortstop. He makes some pretty good plays, and then he has that bad error at the end of the game. And you could kind of hear Aaron Boone talking about it after that series. He was just like, yeah, Volpe made some really good plays, but he made a error on a routine play. Like you could kind of just see the
Yeah,
way he's talking about the lineup and some of the players and whatnot. He's always very complimentary to opposing teams and players. He's never says anything that can even be misinterpreted as disrespectful. And he's like, they gave us a lot of pitches to hit. Good outing. They won, but they gave us a lot of pitches to hit. Like he's never usually. You can see. I don't know if the front office is kind of turning the heat up a bit on Aaron Boone. I'm sure with Don Mattingly's success with the Phillies, that team like barely even losing since promoting him has something to do with that. But you could just see on his face that he's just getting angrier and angrier and angrier. That it's like, I don't know, man. This team's got to get it going. Come on, go Yankees.
I feel
Go
bad for
Yankees.
Volpe, man. I feel
I
like we
do too.
always, I feel like we always talk about him too on this, and not in a bad way. I feel like there was too much, pressure on it. Too much pressure on Volpe. Again, like I said, and we've said it plenty of times, whether it's on Bad and Chatting or
Mhm.
anywhere else. Like again, labeling him as the next Derek Jeter, you're already setting him up for failure right away because like no one could be Derek Jeter. Let him be Anthony Volpe. Like come
Yeah,
on, let the kid be his own self. You
he
know,
grew up. Oh, continue.
I don't know what's and again I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the pressure. Maybe he might have just been not ready. Like Dennis, can you tell me what it is that is not go- is that's going on with Volpe?
He needs to change the scenery. He needs to leave the Yankees. I mean that's the answer, and it sucks because we all know his story, and that's why people want him to succeed so much. But that has just turned into a level of toxicity that he doesn't need. He doesn't
Oh, for
need it.
sure.
Before he set foot in the box, people were calling him the next Derek Jeter because he was a New Jersey kid who grew up a diehard Yankees fan and plays shortstop. Give him a break. Give him a break. I kind of just feel like the media and whatnot and the fandom completely ruined that kid. And we could sit there and say, well, the team did this and Boone did that and Volpe himself. All that is true, but at the same time, you gotta recognize the fact that let the kid play. Let's see what we got in him. That like maybe he's not the best player in the maybe he's not the best player in the league. Whatever. There's guys that can contribute without being the very best at their position, and that's fine. One thing I will say that's very concerning, even when he was slumping, his defense his first few years was excellent. He even won a Gold Glove, rightfully so. I
Okay.
think did he win a Platinum Glove too? I'll double check that while I'm yapping here.
And
But
I think it might have been just a Gold Glove. I know he did get a Gold Glove.
but that has really been a big fall off for him. Is the defense? Yeah, his rookie year in 23, he won a Gold Glove, and since then, fielding has not been his specialty. And if you can't hit and you can't field, I I don't know what you want him to say. I don't really. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. I'm rooting for him. I want him to turn it around. I just don't think he's going to turn it around in a Yankees uniform. And by the way, there's guys that haven't. Miguel Andujar, they jerked him around with his service time and how often they used him and whatnot. And where was Miguel Andujar been? Oh, he's one of the best hitters on the Padres this year. Cool, cool, cool. So, you know, hey man, do you. You do you. And I hope he turns it around. I hope he, you know, goes out this series, Subway Series, everybody watching him and hearing about all these young Mets that are coming up and your young guys are doing good. And he says, you know what? I was the young guy on the New York Yankees, a team that went to the World Series. F it. And starts playing like not the next Derek Jeter, but playing like Anthony Volpe and start selling Volpe jerseys. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Miguel Andujar, 289. Good Lord. 122 OPS. Yeah, I'm sure the Yankees would have loved to have him. Since then, he's only, hit 300 basically everywhere else he played. And he could play how many positions? Lovely. Okay.
Mm.
So,
But I was gonna say, um, but yeah, no, I think you well said. I'm excited for the Subway Series. I guess real quick, we got on the NFL schedule release. I think it was good. Um, I think it's well, I like the Jets schedule, in my opinion. I'm not complaining. I think the fact that they got no primetime games, I thought it was a little bit absurd. I think they should have got at least a Thursday night football game. Like, they're really no one's really high on the Jets this year. It's really, and obviously as I saw your text last night. I was laughing. I thought it was funny. And nobody's really high on the Jets this year. I think that, I hope the Jets find a way to, turn around the narrative of their team and improve and get some wins. We'll find out. We'll see. I like the first game against Tennessee. Now, I have some, there's people of ours that we know that want to go to that game. They want to go to Nashville on opening day. And it sounds like, I feel like going to Nashville for a game, it sounds fun. And it's the last year at Nissan Stadium, so I feel like that'd be fun to do. That'd be fun to do
Oh, I didn't hear about
because
that.
they're getting a new stadium, so that'd be,
Maybe you did
you
hear
know.
about that.
So I gotta look into that. I gotta see if they still want to do that. I'd want my dad to come
Sorry.
too, because I feel like so we can watch the game together, and I feel like he would want to. He's been to Nashville too, so he wants to go there. So I think that'd be fun to do. The rest of the schedule, and then they open up against the Packers week 1. Yeah, no, still. So that'd be interesting to see. Um, yeah, again, the rest of the schedule will be fun. So let me just take a look at the schedule that's coming up. Let me just pull it up on my phone real quick. Let's see. And they do got a tough schedule. Again, the only games out of 4 o'clock are against Chargers. That's in Los Angeles, and against Arizona, which is in obviously Arizona. Time constraints. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But again, I'm interested to see what's going on with the team down the line. Again, no one does people really want to see Geno Smith. Me personally, yes, I do. I want to see Geno Smith sling it for the Jets, hopefully. I feel like the Jets have definitely constructed a good roster where they're going to be somewhat competitive and going to be in games. So I don't know where, I think a lot of people are putting down the Jets a lot than I think. Because even last year, with the way the roster was, they still gave them like 2 primetime games, either one against the Patriots and the one against Miami. So, but I don't know. I guess the Jets got to earn their stripes. So we shall see. Now, there's a lot of good games. I know there's the there's the first ever Thanksgiving Eve game. They're finally incorporating that. I think it's the games. I think the first game is the Packers against the Rams. So is my drawbacks to Thanksgiving Eve games. Like, I mean, I love it. Hey, we get more football, especially on Thanksgiving Eve. But I think it's Thanksgiving Eve. Like, I hope it's just not too hectic of a night for America. Like, because I didn't realize it, Dennis, but supposedly Thanksgiving Eve that's the biggest night to go out. It's not. I thought it was New Year's, but and I get it. I see why that's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest night, you know. So
Yeah.
I just hope it's just not too hectic for America to like obviously with drunk driving and then obviously just everybody's out.
My issue with the Thanksgiving Eve game is I have to pull up the schedule. Are these teams coming off a bye? Because for scheduling, that's just strange to me.
That's true.
Like that's something I'd be a little worried about. No, give me. Uh, that's what the 18th to the 24th. I'm just
Uh,
completely guessing here. No, it's the next
it's
week.
the 25th to the 29th, Thanksgiving, like that time period.
Was Thanksgiving moved at some point? I could have sworn it was usually the third week of whatever. Green Bay at Los Angeles. All right, so we'll see. Did these teams have a bye week the week before? Yes. Okay. All right. So that makes a little more sense. But that was like what I was thinking about. Is like, well, actually, not really, because now they basically have like they have a bye week, play a game. It's like another bye week. You play Wednesday, you're not playing again until the following Sunday.
Right.
I don't know this scheduling. You know what? Can't you just leave it the f alone? I,
I mean, I'm excited. I'm just wondering how many Jet games I'm going to go to. Well, before we get into that, the Thanksgiving slot, like I think the good matchups, the Packers against the Rams, that is a good game. Chicago Bears play against the Lions. I feel like that's a matchup that gets played a lot on Thanksgiving. I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about that. Obviously, that wasn't the game last year. Who they play last year? It was the Packers. I'm pretty sure it was the Packers Lions. That was a good game. Of course, that was a good game. Another team they keep having to put on Thanksgiving. It's just weird to me. Like
the Lions have to be played on Thanksgiving. They were the first
not even
Thanksgiving game.
no. That's not even that. No,
It's like
I
a
accept the
tradition.
Lions.
I
No,
don't
no,
know.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that the Lions. I feel like they either play the Bears or the Packers each
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. Like, let's change it up here. Like, what are we doing? That's what I mean. Like, I love the Lions. It's been a tradition. I don't want to break that. That's one of the football's traditions. The Lions and the Cowboys, they automatically play on Thanksgiving.
Cowboys shouldn't be playing. Stop with this America's team crap. Oh my god.
The Cowboys, I feel like, are going to be a good team that a lot. I feel like they're going to surprise a lot of heads this year. Like, they're going to turn. They're going to. I feel like they're going to. You know what they say that every year, and again, they always turn out to be the Cowboys. I don't know. Hopefully, they prove me right, or they will find out. But that's a good game against the Eagles. So you got Saquon, obviously, and the Eagles. Um, that's another match. I've seen that matchup before. Eagles play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and then the night game. Supposedly, this is the first time, Dennis, that former MVPs play on Thanksgiving. I think at night, the night game. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's the first time that former MVP quarterbacks played each other on Thanksgiving ever, or is it the first time they're playing at that Pacific time slot? But that's what I saw. I saw that somewhere. Let me confirm it.
It could be. It could be both. I mean, in my mind, I feel like there always been an 8:20 Thanksgiving game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I guess so because I just go to bed early because I work Black Friday. Yeah, that makes sense.
You did.
You have to be in at like 3 or 4 a.m. Whoa.
It said if okay, so if Mahomes and Allen start for their respective teams, um, this Thanksgiving matchup, it marks the first time in NFL history that two former NFL MVP quarterbacks have squared off on Thanksgiving Day. Okay, that's insane. That's insane to me. That's absurd. The fact
Yeah,
that this is the first time ever that's happened, that's insane to me.
that is strange.
But no, I'm just wondering how many Jet games I'm going to be able to go to. I'm surprised. But again, the past seasons have just been unwatchable. So, and the games I've gone to have been unwatchable. They used to be fun, and I say to people, and say the girl I'm talking to, like, 'cause hopefully if we're still talking around that time, I'd love to take her to a Jet game. And hopefully I'd want to give her a good experience, not just watching a butt fumble or you know, like I want to give her a good experience of going to a Jet game because they are fun. I've been to some fun games. People shocked I'm saying that, buddy. Going to a fun Jet game, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know Jet games could be fun. Yeah, when they're good, it's a good time. So, again, I don't know which games I would go to. It'd be cool to go to the Raiders game day after Halloween. They play Fernando Mendoza. That'd be fun to watch. I wouldn't mind going to the home opener. This might be a little pricey, but we'll see. That'd be cool. We see the Packers, legendary franchise. But then in terms of the Giants, they only got four primetime games. I would have thought they would have got more. I think four is good enough,
Four
but
is fine.
I was shocked they didn't get more than I thought.
Four is plenty. I don't. I mean, they only play 17 games.
Right. I mean, the first couple of weeks are on prime time. They got I think they're opening up against the Cowboys on Sunday night, and then they have to travel to Los Angeles Monday night to play the Rams. So of course everyone's going to want to see that. Jackson Dart versus Matthew Stafford.
I'm happy we're home for the Cowboys week 1. Oh my god. I just Oh, it has to be at Jerry World. First Cowboys game of the season. Shut up. So annoying. Then Tennessee, Arizona, Washington.
Okay,
I can't wait for,
Brian Dayball's revenge game.
oh yeah, against Tennessee, right? Where did he wind up? Tennessee, yeah?
Yeah, he's the offensive coordinator for the Titans.
With Robert Saleh.
Yes, sir. Funny, right?
Oh.
It's
The
we should
Legion of
talk about
Doom. New
the
York's Legion of Doom.
honestly. We should talk about that week 1 matchup though, quick, and then I do want to wrap up the show.
Giants by
Uh,
100.
I think it's crazy to me that the again, of course, the NFL same second straight year that they had to play a team that they had to put the Jets in week 1 against one of their former former employees. Last year, they was the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Now this year, it's Robert Saleh. So I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit of a. If they lose, sure, but if they win it would definitely be a statement for the Jets, the new look Jets, and the rest of the season. And I would hope that again, if they lose, don't get blown out by Robert Saleh.
Hear me out. And what I'm about to describe is cinema. Week 1, you guys play Robert Saleh. He's the head coach or the defensive coordinator?
He's a head coach.
You play Robert Saleh, you guys lose. And then rest of the season. So Robert Saleh gets one over on his old team, proves them wrong. He wins. Titans go on a crazy season. They go to the playoffs. Jets also make the playoffs. You meet again in the playoffs. Jets victory. Story. I'm looking at big picture, Brandon. I'm looking at tickets being sold. All right.
That's it. That's a good script. It's a good script.
I'm looking at fannies and seats. I'm looking at, the big picture here. A masterpiece. How about that? That would be fun. And then halfway during the year, Geno Smith is like, I can't do it anymore. I retire.
And Clay Klubnik.
Who comes in at the last second to save the Jets season? None other than Johnny off the street, Zach Wilson. Saves the Jets season. Playoffs, Saleh, V. Wilson. Oh my God. The script writes itself. Jesus. Hey, hold on. I'm getting a call. Hi. Oh, it's Disney. Disney wants to buy the rights. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes,
okay.
Sandra Bullock could play my wife. That's okay. No. Dude, I mean, how that's
Cinema.
That's unreal for cinema. Absolute cinema.
But honestly, real quick, we should address this on here that Edwin Diaz, former Mets closer, is linked to illegal cockfighting. And this is a quote that he said, and I think this quote is actually absurd and disturbing. He said, "It's legal in Puerto Rico, thank God." That's what he said. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I feel safe here. The cockfighting arena is like my home. And that's according to the Talking Baseball platform. And again, I'm just reading what he says, acting out like what he's saying. This is not how I actually feel. And I think that's concerning, and it's definitely not good news. This is definitely concerning coming from the Edwin Diaz camp. And imagine if he was. I feel like the Mets. I did say this though. I feel like the Mets, when they let players go, or something has to happen, they have dodged a bullet. I don't feel like it's talked about enough. Edwin Diaz, great closer for the Mets. I enjoyed watching him on the Mets, but obviously he wanted to leave. He wanted to go to the Dodgers. Hey, good for him. He's hurt. He's probably not going to come back till like maybe July, maybe beginning of August. Yeah. And now this, like, did they dodge a bullet or what? Like, imagine if this was on the Mets right now, considering what has been going on with the Mets right now, the circus that we've had this year. Like, this would have been this would have made the circus like the Ringling right now.
Yeah, the Ringling Brothers.
Because what I mean, again, it's just drama that they do not need to have on their plate right now. So, again, They didn't sign Carlos. They almost signed Carlos Correa. Luckily, that didn't happen. Now, Jacob DeGrom, they let him walk. And, he had Tommy John that year. And now, he had a great year last year, but now he's coming up in age. So, but again, I just feel like the Mets keep dodging bullets that no one talks about. Now, Pete Alonso, I'm not going to state my case on that yet. But am I wrong to feel like that?
You're not wrong. You're not. That's kind of the crazy part, is that Mets fans, as much as even I was like, why didn't you bring back your guy? The crazy part is all the guys you let go of all flamed out. Health-wise, Carlos Correa, Edwin Diaz health-wise, and this is just
Legal-wise.
Like you said, like this is just like we don't need this. And I guess because Puerto Rico is a protectorate of the U.S., law applies the same. So I don't think he could have gotten away with it. Or not away with it, but I think he might be misinformed there. But then Pete Alonso has really not been that good. So I don't know. It's almost as if like people that are like David Stern sucks as a GM or whatever. It's like you actually kind of look at it. It's like, does he really? Like we were talking about this last week, but it's like in a weird kind of way. Yeah. It's kind of like me in all my fantasy leagues when I try to make dumb trades with people, and in the end, most of those dumb trades I try to make of like trying to get like an excellent player for crap. In a weird way, it always is like if you made that trade, it actually would have been worse in the long run. So you never know what happens until it happens. So how about that?
No, it's true. And you know what? The Mets do got a lot. Surprisingly, we have a lot in the farm. I don't feel like people talk about that enough. They do have a lot in the farm system. You good?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Look like you be on it. They do have a lot in the farm system. Carson Bench is proving it. AJ Ewing, Nolan McLean, they're coming up. They're all baby Mets that are showing to be the future. I think this is what David Stearns wants. He wants to fill the team with young core players that have are elite and in their primes instead of, again, like you said, aging players that are flaming out. That's why he's big. He's not. I'm not saying he's not big on. I don't like that he's not big on long-term players. Which I get it. If a player's not playing up to the level that they once were, you get rid of them. I get it, but I don't know. It just sucks because at the same time, can you replace that? Are they gonna what do you have to replace that? And again, that's all. But again, they let go of Nimmo. They traded him. You get back Marcus Semien. He's an aging player. Sometimes he's very inconsistent. I feel like at times when he's good. When he's bad, his age shows. But then you also get AJ Ewing, who's the complementary replacement in center field. And so far in 3 games, it's only been 3 games, but he looks good. Mm-hmm. And Mets fans are ecstatic over him. And then you got Ryan Clifford down the farm. They got another guy. Again, they got Jonah Tong, but even he's been struggling. But then they got a guy. His name's Jack something. I forgot the name. But even he's been, supposedly he's the real deal. So we'll see. I don't know. It's interesting to see how the Mets fill the core of the team. And just hopefully to keep improving. But that's all my thoughts on the Mets.
All right.
Again, thank you everybody for tuning in to SportsShack. I'm Brandon Talley.
I'm Dennis Toohey.
Thank you, everybody, and hope everybody has a great weekend. And let's go Mets.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.